Listen, now whether you're a teenager or not, this can still change your life. I need you to imagine that you are a teenager going into your grade 10 or 11 summer. Now there's a couple of things that you want to do this summer. First of all, you've seen all these kids preparing for university. They're doing all these passion projects, they're creating apps, they're creating programs, and they're doing all these things, and your parents have been nagging you to start one of your own. Secondly, you want to have fun, you want to go out with your friends, you want to make new friends. Maybe just get away from home for a little while. And finally, you want to have that teenage summer. The thing that all the adults talk about, but you've never really been able to touch. Well, there's only one thing that checks all of those boxes. Let me introduce you to SHAD Canada. There's really going to be 3 segments to this video. First of all, I'm going to talk about what SHAD is really about. Secondly, my truthful experience about how I experienced SHAD. And finally, if SHAD is really worth the price. And yes, we're going to discuss the price at the end of the video. Alright, so what exactly is SHAD Canada? Well, basically, it's a month-long program where you get shipped to one of SHAD's 30 host universities. These universities can include Waterloo, UBC, McMaster, McGill, and so much more. And when I tell you there's a lot of things to do there are a lot of things to do there. So I'm going to break it apart in 6 different subsegments. The lectures, the workshops, the field trips, the dreaded DE project, committee meetings, and finally, SHAD surprises. Alright, let's first talk about the lectures. The lectures can be about any topic in STEAM, including math, sciences, business. Now, we even had a lecture about quantum cryptography, which just goes to show that these lectures are, number 1, very, very cool, and number 2, can be about anything in the world. Now, the workshops, on the other hand, are kind of like the lectures, but are more hands-on, right? For example, robotics workshops, engineering workshops, even nursing or medical workshops. Now, here's the fun part, the field trips. And this is a little bit special because it actually varies between each university campus. Now, I can't technically say which campuses go to which places, as that would just be revealing the surprises that SHAD offers. But I've heard campuses have gone to places like Banff, big tech company headquarters such as Microsoft, and a lot more. And they are, I assure you, one of the most fun parts of SHAD. Now next is the dreaded DE project, the design challenge. So, what is the DE project, you might ask? Basically, they introduce it to you in the first week of SHAD. And it's when you get given a question and you get split into groups, and it's basically like a mini startup of sorts, or that passion project that you always wanted to do, but that you never really knew where to start. SHAD basically gives you a question, and you and your group have to answer it and create your own business or company. But this includes finding out all the financials about your solution, getting like investors, looking at every single thing that a real business looks at. You're basically just creating your own startup. And to be honest, it can be very, very difficult, as it is a challenge, and it's supposed to be a bit of a challenge. But if you did get accepted into SHAD, you are one of Canada's brightest minds, so I'm sure that all of you out there are capable of doing the DE project. Now, at the very, very end of the DE project, you dress up with your entire group and you go in front of a bunch of very, very qualified, very, very intimidating judges, and you basically just present your project idea. Now, don't worry, throughout the entire length of SHAD, you're given mentors, you're given assistants, and all the tools that you need to actually come up with a good pitch for your company. But just warning you, it can be very, very intimidating. Next are the committee meetings. Now, you basically choose to be in whichever committee that you want, but each committee has a different goal. Right? For example, myself, I was in the dance committee where we had to plan an end of SHAD dance. Now, different committees plan different things or do different things, such as the month book. They can draw murals. It can be a banquet committee. It really just depends on what campus that you go to. And finally, there are the SHAD surprises. Now, I cannot say a word about what the surprises are, but I just want to let you guys know the surprises are one of the best parts of SHAD. The thing about SHAD is, you kind of know what's going on, right? You get a weekly schedule with time slots and everything that you're going to do, but every single day is different. And every single day could come with a SHAD surprise. They might switch things around, they might take something out, put a surprise in. You never really know. So it's basically just like a 30-day adventure, right? You're living with these new friends that you've made and bonded with. You're living in a university campus. You're just living the life, learning things, gaining valuable skills, and really finding out what it is to really have that teenage summer that you were told about. Now I have to talk about a very, very important point, and a point that you are probably asking if you're planning to go to SHAD, which is it worth it for the price? Okay, I had to pay $8,000, including like the flight and including the SHAD program, around $8,000, because I didn't get any bursaries. But there's a couple of things that you need to keep in mind when you're thinking about, is it worth it? Okay, number one, going into SHAD, I had like high expectations about what it was, but I also had the mentality that I wanted to make the most of it, right? $8,000 I cannot just like send to waste. I can't go there, be on my phone. I can't go there and not talk to as much people as I can. Right? I have to go there and really like immerse myself in that experience. And I did do that, right? And from that, I gained things that I know I would never have gained if I didn't go to SHAD, right? This entire YouTube channel and like all of its views and subscribers are mostly because of SHAD. Because SHAD made me love editing. SHAD made me love making videos, vlogging, right? SHAD basically, it revealed a passion for me. And before SHAD, like I would basically, my YouTube videos, I'm gonna admit, weren't the best, right? Because I didn't love doing it. But now, like whenever I go up to my PC and start editing, I'm not distracted at all, right? I'm not on Instagram, I'm not on YouTube. I'm actually focused, right? And I like being focused and doing that, which is something that SHAD brought for me. Now, I don't know what SHAD will bring for you, right? But one thing that I do know, if you have the right mindset, it 100% is worth it, okay? I know it's a lot of money, but first of all, you can get bursaries and scholarships, and I think that's a very, very important point. Now, I didn't get it. I don't know if my like application to get one wasn't good enough, but I know people who, first of all, went to SHAD for free. I know in the SHAD 2026 year, I don't know if that's like before this or after you're watching this, I know that one person, I think from starting from 2026, will go to SHAD for free, right? I think one person, I think it's one person from each campus will go to SHAD for free. That's a new thing that they're starting. That could be you. And the bursaries can actually take a lot off the SHAD price. I think around 3 people who went to my campus for free. I know a lot of people who got thousands of dollars off their SHAD price for free. And like I wasn't lucky enough to get money taken off, but I would not, like if I were to live this life again, SHAD would be like the thing I would be looking forward to my entire life. Just because like I don't even think I can explain this like mouth to mouth. Like you need to actually go to SHAD to experience it. It's the only word I can genuinely think of right now is that it's euphoric, right? It's this world that you get pushed into with like such supportive and like good, like genuinely good people surrounding you, like smart, good, unique people like are all around you. Your PAs, like everyone just becomes like family to you, right? So I genuinely think it's worth it. And it's worth it because number one, the connections that you make, right? You make a lot of connections with people who will be successful one day and people who are already successful, right? Like the program directors, all the mentors and the work and the like lecturers that you have there, you make connections with them. You get alumni benefits, right? You get invited to a lot of different meetings, reunions. Like the label of SHAD alumni is very, very important. Number one, like at least from this year, like at this year, applying to universities, right? It's very, very good on like your LinkedIn to get into jobs. And you like on the academic side of things, on the STEM side of things, you do learn a lot, right? I said before, we learned about quantum cryptography. Like that's just it's one of the things, but it stuck out most to me because like it's such a random thing that sounds so difficult, but the lecturer made it very easy to understand, and everything is just like all the lectures and all the workshops are just so premium, right? We got to work with the best equipment, like university level equipment. I didn't personally go, but there was this nursing workshop, like this medical workshop where you learn how to do like hands-on like medical treatments and just things like that. And academic wise, it's very, very good. But I think the biggest, like genuinely, the biggest thing that comes out of SHAD is the connections, like the people you meet, and the thing, and like the biggest thing is how it exposes the real you. Now, I don't know if this is just for me, but I think it's because if your mentality is to go in and to do the very best you can, SHAD will bring the real you out, right? You'll see what you truly enjoy. You'll see what living alone is like. You'll see how your skills are like with responsibility, with time management, because like you're living alone. You're basically, it's like a university dorm experience, basically. But they have like attendance and all of that. But still, you discover yourself. I think that's one of the, like, if not the biggest thing that going to SHAD is. And you learn how to talk to people, socialize. And it's all these different things that you wouldn't have learned from like a normal summer. So yes, in the end, if you are thinking about applying to SHAD, if you got in and you're thinking about actually going, or like you just heard of SHAD, or you just heard of SHAD from this video and you want to do it, I promise you, if you have the right mentality of going in and not wasting all the money that you've spent and talking to like as much people as you can, of letting yourself be out there, you are going to change in the best way possible. And you're going to meet the best people, and I promise you, it is going to be worth it. Alright, so I don't know how long this video will be. I think I've talked for hours now. I don't know how well I'm going to edit this video, but in conclusion, should you go to SHAD? Yes, but you need to make sure that you go in it with the mentality to do, like to really let yourself out there and experience it fully. If you go in there and you're on your phone and you don't talk to like people and you don't make relationships with like the PAs and the other people there, I'm gonna say that's a waste of money. Now you're still gonna learn stuff through like the lectures and stuff like that, but you're not gonna be able to discover yourself. You're not gonna be able to build the strong relationships that you normally would be able to build if you had the mentality. So the mentality is one of the most important things. But overall, it will change your life, right? And I'm not just saying it like as a joke, but it changed mine, and I know it changed so many other SHAD alumni out there. But you'll be able to see for yourself, because next, I don't know if it'll be next week, but coming soon will be a video from 2 mystery people. Alright, one went to Lakehead, so my SHAD campus, and you've heard of them through my story. If you were paying attention, their name did pop up. And another is from a different SHAD campus. Now this will be the first time another SHAD campus is displayed on this channel. So I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys are excited. I'm excited myself, and I hope you guys learned something from this video. Hope you guys, if you guys are able to join SHAD, you guys genuinely should go. And I'll see you guys soon.